It is an honor to be here today at the release of this year's Trafficking in Persons report and to recognize this year's heroes. Their remarkable work inspires action. Thank you for affording us the opportunity to learn from your impressive examples. Human trafficking is a pervasive human rights issue affecting millions, no matter their gender, age, or nationality. It is often a profoundly secret crime. One of the greatest challenges is to merely identify those trapped in modern slavery. Even conservative estimates conclude that some 20 million people around the world, including right here in the United States, are trapped in human trafficking situations. Terrible circumstances of exploitation, including so many young girls and boys who are victims of unthinkable tragedy of child sex trafficking. The stories of those we honor today demonstrate why combating this crime, here in the United States as well as around the globe, is in both our moral and our strategic interest. As Secretary Tillerson noted earlier, ending human trafficking is a major foreign policy priority for the Trump administration. Over the past several months, the White House has hosted roundtables and listening sessions with victims, with NGOs, members of Congress, and others to determine steps we can take to better execute a strategy to finally end human trafficking. The President signed an executive order designed to strengthen the enforcement of federal law with regards to transnational criminal organizations, including traffickers. Further, he has taken steps to ensure that the Department of Homeland Security personnel are properly trained to combat child trafficking at points of entry into the United States. This year's report emphasizes the responsibility all governments have to prosecute human traffickers. It also provides an opportunity for countries to see how others are fighting human trafficking and to adopt the most effective strategies and tactics while renewing their own resolve in the struggle. On a personal level, as a mother, this is much more than a policy priority. It is a clarion call to action in defense of the vulnerable, the abused, and the exploited. Last month, while in Rome, I had an opportunity to talk firsthand with human trafficking survivors. They told me their harrowing stories, how they were trapped in this ugly dark web, how they survived, how they escaped, and how they are very slowly reconstructing their lives. Here in the United States, we have our own Advisory Council on Human Trafficking, comprised exclusively of survivors. We cannot meaningfully address this pervasive issue without the brave voice of survivors at the table. They can help us understand what they experienced, and they will play a leading role in solving this pressing crisis. These survivors are not only victims, they are heroes. So are the courageous crusaders who have committed themselves to fight human trafficking wherever it exists. As part of the 2017 TIP report, the State Department recognizes individuals who have been tireless in their efforts to combat human trafficking. Today we honor a police officer whose efforts led to the identification of 350 children forced into labor, a union leader who protects workers in the fishing industry, a judge who played a critical role in drafting her country's first anti-trafficking legislation, a journalist who shines a light on forced labor, a faith leader who works to protect vulnerable migrants, a sociologist whose groundbreaking research considers the structural challenges affecting vulnerable populations, an advocate who founded an NGO to care for child sex trafficking victims, and a survivor, the first in our country to win civil damages in a sex trafficking case. Each of these heroes is a source of inspiration. They all have different backgrounds, but are united in this shared cause. We celebrate and we stand with each of you.